So we're starting to see more protests here in the United States. Many of these protests are happening in the larger cities: New York, Los Angeles, San Francisco, Chicago. But here's the problem. These protests are not going to stop. They're protesting for multiple reasons. We're seeing protests because there's pro-Palestinian protests. We used to see protests for Israel. We're seeing protests for the U.S. southern border. We've heard reports about a truckers convoy, over 700,000 trucks going down to the U.S. southern border. Ultimately, we didn't see those numbers. We also heard about truckers protesting New York and saying no deliveries to New York. Again, that didn't really happen. But the concern is these protests, people stepping up, having their voices heard. This is happening more and more. Not saying we shouldn't have our voices heard, but this could really hurt the economy and hurt the American people. I want to explain what's going on in just a moment, but New York is having a lot of issues. The governor, Kathy Hochul, the mayor, or the New York governor, Kathy Hochul, she's trying to step up and do more for New York. The Mayor Adams, he's trying to do more as well. Again, a lot of problems coming from New York, but again, that's where it starts. I want to explain what's about to happen in many other cities all across the United States, and we'll get to that in just a moment. All I ask is one thing. It takes 2 seconds. Go ahead, hit that like button if you enjoy these daily updates. And now, let's begin. So something major just happened yesterday. So yesterday was Tuesday, or what some call Super Tuesday. Here's what actually happened. Former President Donald Trump and President Biden, they dominated Super Tuesday. And now we're hearing that Nikki Haley is going to end her presidential campaign. She was really the only one that was going up against former President Donald Trump. So, like we anticipated, it is going to be Donald Trump against Joe Biden in the upcoming election. Well, I think everybody saw that. But here's the reason why this is turning into a problem. This is what we got before. Okay? These two candidates were exactly what we got before. And now we're hearing from the American people that they are not happy with who they have to select from. This is it. These are the two options. Because some say that they will not vote for Joe Biden again. They will not vote for him because he has been abysmal over the past 3 years. But the other ones say they can't vote for Donald Trump. Not after what he's said, what he's going to do, a mass deportation event. That could be devastating. But I want to show you what happened. Okay, this happened in New York City just the other day. This happened in Times Square, where pro-Palestinian protesters were pretty much fighting with police officers in Times Square. Okay, I just want to play this for you really quick and kind of explain something. The concern here is this is exactly what we're going to face. This is what we are going to see. People are going to be protesting and going back and forth with police officers because they are not happy with what is going on. They're not happy with a potential mass deportation event. And if this happens, if this occurs, guess what? It's not just going to happen in New York City. It's going to happen all over the place. Okay? So what Governor Kathy Hochul is saying is, be ready. Be ready, because these protests are just the beginning. Now, yes, could the United States ultimately get Israel to pull out of Gaza? Yeah. And then we will see there won't be all this bombardment in Gaza. But the problem is there is still mass devastation. Over 30,000 people lost their lives. So is this pro-Palestinian protest, is this going to stop just because Israel decides to on a ceasefire? No. Because then they're going to be asking for additional assistance. And so this, again, just the beginning. But it doesn't stop there either. Okay? This is what we are going to face. We know this. We know we're going to see more and more protests, which could potentially turn into a riot, which could potentially turn into loss of life. That's what we're expecting. Again, these people, This started as a very civilized protest. Okay, very civilized. Just walking down the street, and it turned. Now, something else is happening in New York City as well. It says New York governor and the MTA boss are making the subway safety announcement as the New York City Police Department is going to resume bag checks. So if you are going to take the subway, guess what? You are now going to be, you could be asked to, show them your bag. Make sure there's not weapons. Make sure there's not stolen property. Okay? Make sure there's nothing that is illegal in your bag. This is something that many people are fearing at this time, because why are people that are just going to use the subway, why are they now being asked to, let me look in your bag. Let me see what's there. Right? Some say this is against people's rights. They shouldn't be asked, just walking down the street, using the subway. They shouldn't be asked this. Well, again, we ready for more protest? Because this is about what's going to happen. And if this is happening in New York City because of the increase in crime, where else is this going to happen? In Portland, Oregon? Seattle, Washington? Chicago, Illinois? Okay? We can see it in San Francisco, California. We can see it in San Diego, Los Angeles, right? Memphis, Nashville, right? Where does it end? Miami, Denver, Colorado, Houston, Texas. Where does this end? That's the concern. And this is what many governors are already warning of, is we are about to see increased protests. So now these governors and these city mayors are trying to figure out a way to cut their budgets in order to account for this influx of immigrants coming into the United States, but they need to cut their budget without impacting the police officers, because we cannot cut police officers. If we're going to see increased protests, we need more police officers. We need more first responders. That's what we need. And so again, I bring this up in a time where what we are expecting moving forward is we're expecting our costs to increase, because we are expecting protests. We're expecting a fight. And again, the reason why I brought up Super Tuesday, which was yesterday, is because these two, Donald Trump and Joe Biden, people are anticipating that during their campaigning, when they go and visit certain cities, it's going to be almost a riot. It's going to be people protesting the other candidate. Supporters of Donald Trump are going to go and protest against President Biden. People that are against President Biden, okay, or against Trump, if they're a Biden supporter, they're going to go and protest against former President Donald Trump. That's what we're anticipating. So I bring this up because this is just the start. We expected Donald Trump and Joe Biden to be going head to head. We expected that. Now it's going to start. Now is the beginning. So we'll see what happens moving forward. All I can tell you as of right now is that many police officers, many law enforcement officials are highly concerned, especially if there is a rally in their city. They're very concerned that any rally in their city could potentially turn deadly, but it will at least turn violent in some way. So we'll see what happens moving forward. All I can tell you is I will be here every step of the way. I will fill you in with all the latest news and updates, but that is what we know as of today. So again, thank you guys for watching. Consider subscribing. I'll see you guys on the next one.